Sparky family, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing a bunch of Dollar Tree fall DIYs. Before we begin, I really need your guys' input. I have been working on this design and I want to know, should it say life is short, make it sweet, or life is short, make sweets? These are a bunch of the little fake sweets I've made throughout the years but turn into characters. I would love your guys' input. Also, thanks to Helix Sleep for sponsoring this video. Now let's begin.
The next time you're in Dollar Tree, grab 2 of their pumpkin wire forms and zip ties. You're going to zip tie both forms together by placing them back to back. You want to use at least 2 zip ties on the top, bottom, and sides of the pumpkin. Now what you're going to do next is wrap lights around the wire. I'm using fairy lights, but you can use Christmas lights you have on hand, Halloween lights. It's completely up to you. Dollar Tree does carry lights as well. You just got to make sure they're outdoor lights if you're using this outside. And there you instantly have a piece that can be used outside. You can use stakes to stick it inside of the ground or get the shower rings from Dollar Tree and wrap it around the wire and push that into the ground. You can also use this inside of the house if you want to. For this project, you'll need one of the galvanized metal bottle caps from Dollar Tree, as well as their round styrofoam pieces. You're going to cut the styrofoam pieces down into a bunch of little pieces that you will then paint. The main color I used on all of the styrofoam was Apple Barrel's paint in Warm Buff. I'm trying to get these pieces to look like the inside of an apple. Is it the best color? Questionable, but it doesn't look bad. I then stipple a little bit of a lighter brown color onto the styrofoam. I then paint the inside of the bottle cap with that brown color. Now I start to glue down all these styrofoam pieces. I did a layer at the bottom, and then with the rest of the pieces, I just glue those on top of the first layer I made. Now I'm going to be using Model Magic. Dollar Tree carries a 1 ounce pack for $1.25, or you can go elsewhere and get more bang for your buck. For instance, I got this tan pack for under $3 at Joann Fabrics on sale. What I'm doing is I'm rolling out the clay, and then I'm using an X-Acto knife to cut through the clay strips. So I did short strips, and then I did a longer one that I start to create some little creases in, and basically this is supposed to be the outside of a pie. Once you have the piece of clay that has those creases, place it on top of the bottle cap and push it in to get it to stick. I'm then going to be taking this paint from folk art called Golden Oak, and I'm going to start painting the clay to get more of a dough-like color. The smaller strips I made, I painted before I placed on top of my pie. I knew if I placed it on and then try to paint, I would accidentally end up painting all the little fake apples that I made. Once the paint dries on those pieces of clay, you can then start placing them on top of your pie. As you layer them, you're making sure that they're being tucked under the clay that is around the bottle cap. This is supposed to be a fake apple pie. Now I used real cinnamon to color my dough and pour some on the fake apples. This obviously is going to give this the perfect color because I'm using an ingredient that's actually used on apple pie. I used my finger to rub it into the clay. Cinnamon is one of the only real ingredients I will use in my fake sweets. I'm not afraid of bugs or mice liking the smell and popping out of nowhere in my home because cinnamon is a repellent to bugs and mice don't like it. And that's how you make some fake pies using Dollar Tree products. I recently uploaded a video where I shared how to make these fake pumpkin pies. So the pumpkin pies and the apple pies, they just look so cute. Dollar Tree carries squishies that look like fake sweets, and they are great for DIYing. For instance, I got these cinnamon rolls. Now I like to paint my squishies to mimic the color of the food it's supposed to be better. So I went in with that Golden Oak paint, and I painted the entire squishy except for the eyes. You need to do at least 2 layers of paint, I've noticed, when painting squishies to get an opaque look. Once the paint dries, I go in with cinnamon and I rub it into the squishy. Because I'm doing cinnamon rolls, this is going to give it the perfect color. Next up, I'm going to mix an off-white acrylic paint with some Mod Podge in the glossy finish. I like to do about 40% paint to 60% Mod Podge. The reason I mix the two together is so that I have a glossy finish to the paint that lasts. Once I have all the paint mixed, I then go ahead and paint the top of the cinnamon roll. While that paint is still wet, I do sprinkle some cinnamon on the top, and I do this while the paint is still wet so that it sticks. Next up, I just paint it back on the facial features. That's it. You can display this with the faces facing toward you, or you can turn them around for the more realistic look, which is what I like. And I love the way these came out. They are so easy to make. I've been wanting to do this DIY forever, but Dollar Tree just doesn't carry big enough pumpkins. Instead, I got this carvable pumpkin from Michael's. I'm removing the very top of it off so that I have a hollow whole. Once I have that done, I take some flowers. These flowers are from Walmart and I place them inside of the pumpkin. I prefer to get my flowers from Walmart or Hobby Lobby. You get more bang for your buck and they look more realistic. I placed some pumpkin picks I got from Dollar Tree inside of this, and I made a bow using Dollar Tree's burlap ribbon. I love the way that this turned out. I made one for the front room and then 2 of them for our bedroom. I used slightly smaller Hobby Lobby pumpkins for this. I really wanted to decorate our bedroom for fall, especially since we got a newer Helix mattress.
This video is sponsored by Helix Sleep. Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses and bedding that are customized to fit your needs and shipped directly to your door. Everybody's different and Helix knows this, so they created a sleep quiz to match your unique body type and your style of sleeping to find a mattress that is right for you. If you sleep with someone, you can also take the quiz for 2 people to find a mattress that suits you and the person you sleep with. So Matt and I took the quiz and we were matched with Helix Twilight Luxe. This is their firmest memory foam model designed with enhanced support and incredible firm comfort. I'm a side sleeper and Matt tosses and turns when he sleeps, and we both prefer firmer mattresses. Setup is so easy. Just remove the mattress from the box, set it on your foundation while it's still wrapped in plastic, then remove the mattress from its plastic wrapping. So it's been a while since we've been using our Helix mattress and I like it so much better. I really like the firmness of it, and we opted for the Glacial Text cooling cover. So what that is it helps get like the heat off of your body essentially. It cools you down, which is really nice. I sleep with an air conditioner on all year round and a fan because I get really hot when I sleep. So this has this nice cooling feature that I really, really like. My favorite thing about this mattress though, I don't wake up with aches and pains like I did with my previous mattress. Helix mattresses have a 100-night trial that's risk-free, which is really nice because once I got older, I realized just how important a mattress is. After all, you will sleep on this every day, and if you're not sleeping well, you're obviously not going to get enough sleep, wake up less focused, and sore, which is no fun. I love my Helix and I think you would too. If you're looking for a new bed, check out Helix. Click on the link below or go to helix.com/bargainbethany for up to $200 off your Helix sleep mattress plus 2 free pillows. Thanks again to Helix for sponsoring this video.
This next project is inspired off of this garland that I saw at Michael's. It was $20 and even on sale, I know I can make this cheaper. So I went ahead and I picked up some felt from Michael's for 49 cents. You can buy felt at Dollar Tree. The only thing is you can't choose the colors that you get, and the felt is really, really cheap. I picked up these pumpkin color felt pieces from Michael's and I'm cutting out triangles that are 5 inches long on the sides. Now this tan piece of felt that I purchased, I'm cutting out strips that are going to go on the top of the orange pieces of felt. Then I took white felt and I cut out little shapes that look like flowers, but really you can do any shape you want. I'm making pumpkin pie slices out of these. So I take 2 triangles and I glue them where the top of the slice is supposed to be. I then take the tan strip I cut out and I start to glue that to the top of my pie. And I'm doing the creases like I did with the dough. The best way to do this is put some glue down and then place your strip down and start to create those creases on top of the glue. Once the crust is down, I then cut off any excess felt. Then glue down your white piece, which is supposed to be the whipped cream. I wanted to give this a stitched look like I saw at Michael's, so I just went in with paint and I started to create that stitch look. And this is Warm Buff from Apple Barrel. We're going to make those pumpkin spice mugs that were on the garland. To do that, I'm using this cream color felt, again from Michael's. Now you're just going to draw a mug on top of the felt. I already pre-made one and I'm just using that to trace that shape on a bunch of pieces of the cream felt. The top of the Michael's pumpkin spice mug has something that looked like a pumpkin, so I used orange and brown felt to create that pumpkin. Now glue everything together, and just like the Michael's one, I want to do the stitching look, so I use black paint to do this, and then the Warm Buff paint on the top where the pumpkin is. There was a coffee cup on that garland I knew I wasn't going to be able to recreate, so I did my own thing. I got white felt and cut out the main base of my cup. Then I used the beige felt for the lid and the sleeve of my cup. Then I cut a little white circle that's supposed to be the label of the coffee cup. Glue everything together. The label I decided to paint a green circle on top of, and I cut a tiny little pumpkin to glue to the front of that. And of course, I did the stitching on this as well. I decided to make a round pumpkin pie that wasn't on the garland at Michael's. I traced 2 circles on the tan felt and cut out. I then traced a circle on the pumpkin colored felt, and I made sure that this circle was smaller than the tan circles. I used the white felt to make the whipped cream and the tan felt to do the crust. So like I said, this is just a full pie. To hang the felt pieces, I'm using Dollar Tree jute cord. What I do is I wrap my felt pieces around the cord. So I have one piece in the front of the cord and one piece in the back of the cord. I glue most of the felt together except for the very top. I don't put anything there. That way I can move the felt pieces around freely. So you glue everywhere, pretty much everywhere at the bottom, but leave no glue at the top so that the pieces just move around. To hang this up, use command hooks and tie the cord around the hooks. This is actually staying above my bed, so I wanted to share with you guys how that looks, but obviously you can use this on a mantle, cabinet. I also decided to show it near all the fake sweets I made. It looks absolutely adorable. And the best part is this cost me $5 to make. It'll cost you around $6 if you don't have twine. So I made that garland and realized that I can make the cutest decorative pillows with these, and they're just smaller pillows that are for decoration. So what you'll do is you'll get 2 pieces of felt, again, to be the back and front of your pillow. So I have that pumpkin color felt, and I'm just creating a triangle to be a pumpkin slice. Now I glue both pieces of felt together, but I leave the top open because I need to stuff cotton inside of there. I'm using actual cotton balls I got at Dollar Tree. I unraveled them and stuck them inside of the felt. You can get an old pillow. I just use this because this is what I had on hand. Once the cotton is inside, you can go ahead and seal off your pumpkin pie. Now I use the tan color again to make strips that I am going to use to create the crust, but I made sure that these strips were thicker because this is a bigger piece of pie. Of course, I got my white felt, I cut it out to make my little fake whipped cream, and then I did the stitching. If you actually want to use your sewing machine to sew this all together, go ahead and do that. That's completely up to you. Like I said, these are just decorative pillows. They're not meant to actually lay on top of. It's just nice looking. I put these on top of my bed near the garland. It looks so adorable. This is how it looks on the couch. Obviously, you can mess around with the way that they are on top of your couch, but these were so inexpensive to make and they're absolutely adorable. Right now, Dollar Tree has these really nice pumpkins for $1.25. I really like the colors. I like that they're a little bit more of an off orange color, an off white color, so they look a bit more realistic. So I removed the top of a few of my pumpkins and I'm going to be gluing them on top of each other. The very top pumpkin, I didn't remove the top off of it. I'll be using a metal bucket for this DIY, and I placed one of those bottle caps inside of the bucket. I have shared so many different ways on my channel of filling up your buckets, whether it's with rocks or moss from Dollar Tree. I decided to give this a go. That way I wouldn't have to fill up the bottom of this with multiple packs of something else. It doesn't fit perfectly inside of the planter, so I did use some glue to make sure it didn't go anywhere. I then glued the pumpkin on top of the bottle cap. Now I got these really pretty silver dollars from Dollar Tree. I am going to attach them off of the one that I bought, and I am actually going to use that over 3 topiaries that I'm making. I just put the pieces around the bottle cap. You can glue them down if you want to. That's it. These are really easy to make and they come out really nice. They look like something that you would buy at like Kirkland's or something. You can use them as centerpieces or you can just use it as decor in any room that you like. I recently made this greenery wall using cooling racks from Dollar Tree, and I thought this would transition really nicely for fall. So what you do is you get cooling racks from Dollar Tree and you use zip ties to attach them. For this particular DIY, I'm going to be using 3 of them total. Now you need some floral, greenery, whatever you like to attach to the cooling racks. I'm going to be using this garland that I got for 40% off at Michael's, and I had $5 voucher, so this was super inexpensive. I use my zip ties to attach them to the cooling racks, and I've said this so many times on my channel before, you don't have to use exactly what I use. You can use more floral, less floral. You can use more inexpensive floral. It's completely up to you, so you can change things around to suit your budget. Dollar Tree does carry military garland, but it's more like maple leaves, so if you like that look, check out Dollar Tree. Next up, I'm going to attach pumpkins from Dollar Tree to the cooling racks. To do this, I'm using bamboo skewers I also got from Dollar Tree. I poke the skewer through the back of the pumpkin. I try to get it as far back as I can, and I get it as deep as I can without making a hole. I'm then going to cut the bamboo skewer so that it's not too long, and then attach that to the cooling rack using zip ties. You can also put a zip tie through the back of the pumpkin. It's just a little bit more time consuming. Finally, I'm going to zip tie some of this floral that I got from the Bullseye Playground for $3. I take it apart and I tie it to the cooling racks. To hang this outside, I use these amazing command hooks from Amazon. I placed this below a window. It looked a little funny to me because it just wasn't long enough for the window versus before with the more spring type of greenery. It fit better. So instead, I moved this near a rail so it looks a little bit more proportional. This is a really nice DIY for outside. For this next project, I'm going to be using 2 rectangle and 2 square wood pieces. I'm attaching them by using wood glue. They line up perfectly so you don't have to do any wood cutting. I use something to hold up the sides as the glue dries. You can stain the wood if you like, just make sure you sand it down. I decided that I wanted to use an acrylic paint on the wood. So I started off with this color by Apple Barrel called Territorial Beige. I did that as my base color. I want to give this a distressed look. To do that, I'm going to be dry brushing my paint on. So basically you take a stiff brush that's dry, dip it into some paint, remove most of the paint off of the brush, and then go over your material in very light strokes. And this is going to create a scratchy type of look. It helps something look like a wood grain if you're trying to go for that effect. I really love to dry brush. Now you can start filling your box up. I'm using these leaves from Dollar Tree as well as the silver dollars. I also put some bamboo skewers through those pumpkins to make picks out of them. I put styrofoam I got from Dollar Tree at the bottom of the box, so I had to remove each stem off of the main bunch. I prefer to use styrofoam because then you could place pieces exactly where you want them to be and it's not going to fall over. Also, you can put a bottom to your box. I just didn't because I didn't have another piece of wood on hand. I also put some of these floral pieces inside of the box. I wanted more pumpkins in my box, so I'm going to be using these knit pumpkins I got from Dollar Tree. They're picks, so you can actually just put them around the floral picks and they stay put. We're going to set up the table for this centerpiece. I'm going to be using these fake wood plates I got from Hobby Lobby. Dollar Tree has this silverware that is placed in a napkin for easy setup. I switched the silver disposal silverware with gold disposable silverware. I got this pack for $5 at Target. For just $1.25, Dollar Tree has this 4-pack of faux leather words that you can place directly on top of your napkin. I added a little white plate with this, and Dollar Tree carries so many different ones to choose from, and that's it. That's how I did this centerpiece plus the table setup. So that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, thanks to Helix for sponsoring this video. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.